Welcome back to the B block or second section of this week's Weed Talk News. I'm Alaina Pinto. A new law in California is wreaking havoc with the vape community, where the state has now outlawed disposable vapes. The law has an issue with ion lithium batteries that fuel the concentrates. That state treats the disposal of those batteries as hazardous waste. So California continues to struggle by trying to balance the demand for product and the new rules and regulations in that golden state. One of the newest states to approve the legalization of cannabis is Minnesota. Even though that state has not opened its legal business yet, there is a product that is appearing on the shelves of already existing liquor stores. That's right, THC-infused beverages. When the legalization vote took place 2 years ago, legislators unknowingly allowed language that opened the door for these products derived from hemp to be sold. Based on sales over the first 2 years where they have readily been available, it's been pretty successful. $200 million. Sounds pretty good. Practically every liquor store in that state has a reserved section for the THC-infused beverages that are selling like craft beer. Even on that side of the beverage industry that was in trouble in Minnesota during the pandemic, but now this loophole is allowing low dosing of THC in beverages to be sold. Not far from Minnesota is Michigan, and that's where Amie Carter reports from every week.
I'm Amie Carter from Michigan Weedsters with this week's Weed Talk News. State regulators are reportedly rolling out plans to ban a potentially harmful ingredient that's found in vaping. MCT oil is derived from coconut or palm trees and used to dilute cannabis oil. But inhaling its vapor has the potential to cause respiratory problems like shortness of breath and lung inflammation. Testing requirements will go into effect in October. Industry leaders are up in arms after city officials in Detroit reportedly voiced plans to ban or restrict weed-related billboard advertising in the city because some local residents and at least one member of city council are tired of looking at them. Two Michigan lawmakers, State Reps Graham Filler and Jimmy Wilson Jr., are teaming up to reform the state's marijuana laws by merging the regulations for recreational and medical cannabis into a single system. House Bills 5884 and 5885 were recently introduced. Congratulations to Meds Cafe, who's celebrating the grand opening of their Ann Arbor location. Meds Cafe is a Michigan-owned company who also has locations in Alpena, Sheboygan, Lowell, Manistee, Rogers City, and Gaylord. Make sure you check out Meds Cafe. I'm Amie Carter with Michigan Weedsters for this week's Weed Talk News.
In Wyoming, a lawsuit has been filed challenging the new ban on hemp-derived beverages. The suit claims that banning Delta-8 products derived from hemp is against the law established by the Farm Bill of 2018. The lawsuit says that by banning hemp products, quote, creates insurmountable confusion around criminal liability and destroys the mere act of processing hemp into consumable products, unquote. Meanwhile, in Virginia, they've banned Delta-8 products, sort of. You can get them online, just not in stores. Hasn't anybody taken the time to educate lawmakers about this complicated plant? Here's our Virginia correspondent, Joe Parsons. Maybe he can do it.
I'm Joe Parsons with the Virginia Cannabis Connection, and this is the Virginia Cannabis Report on Weed Talk News. I hope you all had an amazing holiday. And over the holiday break, I spent a lot of my time reaching out to as many people as possible to raise awareness about the DEA 60-day comment period and how important it is to get your opinions out there. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that is coming to an end on July 22nd. So if you haven't already done so, be sure to head on over to regulations.gov today and make your voices heard. A lot of people I've spoken to feel their voice simply won't make a difference, or they're afraid of employers or family knowing how they really feel. Well, comments to the DEA can be completely anonymous and are absolutely vital to help end federal prohibition once and for all. While the schedule change doesn't free the plant, it is a long-awaited step forward in the right direction. And let's face it, not doing anything at all and not making a comment is like complaining about politics and how bad the leaders are doing, and then not voting. This amazing opportunity to speak is no different. And if we don't speak out, then we're going to be leaving it into the hands of the prohibitionists that have kept cannabis as a Schedule I substance for all these years. Locally, The Virginia Cannabis Control Authority has followed the DEA's playbook and has recently opened their own public comment survey as well. This survey, also anonymous, is for all Virginia medical patients to share their opinions on how well the Virginia medical program is running and how it can improve to better serve its patients. Same with the DEA comment. I feel that this survey is equally vital if you, like me, rely on the medical program here in the Commonwealth. Now, they're open to comments about pricing and accessibility and many other things like transparency that are seriously lacking in our medical program. Now is your chance to let the VCCA know that we need more safe and accessible places for our plant medicine. If you think there should be more diversity and less big marijuana in Virginia, let them know. If you want real concentrates like batter and shatter, write it down. And definitely, if you're like me and think $70 for an eighth of flower is ludicrous, then by all means, let's work together here and let your voice ring loud and clear. Lastly, after patiently waiting to find out the results of Health Service Area 1's license winner, the VCCA has released a statement on their website saying, due to continued investigation, there is an indefinite delay in the announcement. I reached out to the VCCA to question the cause of the delay and what exactly was being investigated, and perhaps when a winner would be announced. The VCCA replied rather promptly with, currently, we don't have any information to share beyond the statement on our website, and we will update that information as circumstances warrant. I will have the results of the HSA 1 winner as soon as I get one, so stay tuned to Pro Cannabis Media. Well, that's going to do it for this week. From the Virginia Cannabis Connection and Pro Cannabis Media's Weed Talk News, I'm Joe Parsons. Until next time, stay lifted.
The largest hemp market for Delta 8 products is the state of Texas. In that state, you can't buy Delta 9 THC cannabis products, but you can buy just about anything else in any store that wants to sell those products. With more from the Lone Star State, here's Lisa Williams.
I'm Lisa Williams, founder of the Toke Agency with the Texas Cannabis Report for Weed Talk News. All right, bringing you the latest, greatest in the Lone Star State. Hold on to your hats because we've got exciting stuff brewing in Bastrop and in Dallas. Bastrop, which is known for its historic charm and vibrant community, might soon be making headlines for a whole new reason: marijuana decriminalization. That's right, folks. Activists in Bastrop have wrangled up enough signatures to get marijuana decriminalization on the local ballot. Just last week, they turned in those signatures, crossing the finish line just in time. Now it's up to voters to decide if we're ready to loosen the reins on the cannabis laws. If this measure passes, it could mean a significant shift in how we handle low-level marijuana offenses. Instead of roping people into the criminal justice system for a bit of herb, we would be decriminalizing such offenses, freeing up resources and sparing folks from unnecessary legal troubles. It's a move forward towards more common sense cannabis reform, something many Texans have been rallying for. So what exactly does this mean for the city of Bastrop? Well, if voters give the green light, the local law enforcement will be directed to make marijuana possession a low priority offense. In other words, we're talking about a significant reduction in the penalties and a step towards more lenient cannabis laws. It's high time we start seeing these changes, and Bastrop just might be leading the charge. The push for decriminalization isn't about keeping folks out of jail for minor infractions. It's about reflecting the evolving attitudes toward cannabis in our community and recognizing the benefits and lower risks associated with marijuana. And there's a growing consensus that our laws need to catch up with the times. But that's not all, folks. Dallas is also in the spotlight this week with major moves. The Dallas City Council is considering a resolution to support statewide marijuana decriminalization. This shows a recognition from larger cities that our cannabis laws need some serious overhaul. And Dallas has always been a trendsetter, and their support could have a ripple effect across the state. So whether you're a fan of Willie Nelson, a supporter of common sense reform, or just someone who believes in the justice system, keep your eye on these two cities. The outcome could pave the way for other Texas towns and cities to follow, bringing us closer to a more sensible approach to cannabis. I'm Lisa Williams, founder of the Toke Agency, with the Texas Cannabis Report for Weed Talk News.
Well, that'll do it for the B Block, or second section of our news show. A reminder that the full show is available on the homepage of procannabismedia.com. But when we come back, we'll check in on the stock market and head west for more coast-to-coast cannabis coverage. Plus, PCM founder Jimmy Young is sharing his public comment on the move to Schedule 3 in a special editorial. Don't go away.
Now it's time for an editorial from Pro Cannabis Media.
Now imagine if it wasn't banned in 1937. Every doctor, nurse, and researcher who I've interviewed confirmed my belief that we would have less cancer, less autism, less epilepsy, Crohn's disease, and many other autoimmune disorders. That Schedule 1 listing is supposed to list drugs that have no medicinal value that can be highly addictive. Once again, it makes it all ridiculous, basically, that this plant has been vilified for as long as it has been. Look at the number of lives lost on opioids, and that's a Schedule 2 drug? The demonization of this plant medicine that has saved thousands of lives is rooted in race, nepotism, power, and money. It's time to change federal law and put one regulatory board in control of the cannabis sativa plant for both the hemp versions and the current Delta-9 THC plant, now legal in 24 states and decriminalized in 38. Let the newly created Federal Regulatory Commission deal with the FDA, the USAG, ABC, and of course the DEA over federal regulations for the industry. Now, Senator Chuck Schumer's CAOA bill in the Senate calls for the establishment of a regulatory group that could help guide proper, realistic, and fair regulations for the various derivatives that come from the cannabis sativa plant. The fact that the intoxicating cannabinoid THC is a buying decision by the uninformed public, and the fact that our elected officials think that limiting the percentage amount in these products will keep the public safer is ridiculous. Learn about the entourage effect and the endocannabinoid system, and how it is absorbed in the human body, so you can make the proper informed decisions about regulating the plant medicine we call cannabis sativa. We all in the industry have an obligation to educate the public, and especially our elected officials who are not taking the time to read the overwhelming anecdotal evidence now supported by science and research regarding the benefits of responsible use of this product. Please educate them that this is not a gateway drug, and in fact, it is more of an exit drug for dangerous, more prescribed drugs like the opioids that are killing young people. Now, the entire text of this rant for the PCM public comment is available on our LinkedIn page and our website. For now, I'm PCM founder Jimmy Young. Remember, it's a whole new world of weed out there. Use it responsibly. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Coming up on We Talk News this week, WNBA superstar and Olympic champion Brittany Griner gets busted at a Russian airport for carrying hash oil.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alaina Pinto, and this is Weed Talk News.
Hey, everybody. It's Brandon Jones with Be Green Distribution with the Missouri Cannabis Report.
I'm Karen Black from Greenfinger Consulting with the Arizona Cannabis Report.
I'm Matthew Friedlander, coming to you from the owner's office here at Skagit Organics.
I'm Amie Carter from Michigan Weedsters.
My name's Tom. You can find me over at Cannabis and Legalization News.
I'm Jill Goldsberry with We Talk News New Jersey, and we are back.
Andrew Behringer here reporting from Washington, D.C.
Our Canadian correspondent with We Talk News, Debbie Fazy, with the Canadian Toke of the Week.
I'm Doug Miller from Highland Wall Street with this week's Cannabis Stock Report for Weed Talk News.